You're about to watch a Trains Newswire video. If you enjoy what you see, consider watching some of our other full-length videos. Hotspots, Horseshoe Curve, Tehachapi, Chicago Racetrack, and more. Locomotive, the video companion to our best-selling special issue. And a special collection from documentary producer Rich Luckin. All these and more are available from our website, kalmbachhobbystore.com.
Good morning, Trains Nation. Today is Friday, May 11th, 2018, all day until midnight. We are so glad you could join us for another episode of Trains Newswire Roundup. Wait, Jim, I don't know, do we have stuff to talk about today?
We have lots to talk about, and as you can see, I did not even bring any notes.
Yes.
Because yesterday was just etched in my mind forever.
It was a really good day.
It was a big day for, Railroad Preservation News and, for STEAM News, Railroad Preservation News,
yes.
Just all sorts of things for everybody.
Let's get the big thing. Big thing out of the way.
Big thing out of the way. UP finally admitted what we've all known for years, that the plan is a year from now to be in Ogden, Utah with the Big Boy 4014 that they're restoring in Cheyenne, Wyoming. They did a Facebook Live last night and said as much. And then they added some details. They said the 844 will be there. They want to do the champagne picture with their big locomotives. They're in the Ogden Union Station probably, or somewhere nearby. But anyway, as close as they can get, there's no tracks out to Promontory anymore.
Right.
But, and certainly they wouldn't hold a big boy. But anyway, they wanted to reenact the ceremony. And then they said, hey, we're going to take it out and run over virtually the entire system. So
I love that.
So if you don't get to go see the big boy in Utah or Wyoming a year from now, although I encourage you to go do so, you'll see it somewhere else.
Yes. Now, I asked someone,
news.
I'm not going to name this person's name, but I asked someone about 5 years ago when 4014 was getting ready to be pulled out of the fairgrounds of Pomona. I said, now, where can this thing actually go on this modern network?
Right.
And the person said to me, we've got better rails, we've got better track, we've got better signaling. Oh, and by the way, the big boy's articulated. Don't forget that. And you can jack up the axles on the back of the tender. So you can go anywhere down to a 20-degree curve.
The big problem with those engines, and it's a weakness of the 800 class, the Challenger class, and the big boys is not the locomotive, it's the tender. The rigid frame of the centipede tender.
Right.
So if you see it having trouble going through a curve somewhere, it's the tender.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not the locomotive.
I'm looking forward. My money is on. I want to be the first person in line when they take it to Chicago Union Station.
Oh, hell yes. You and me both.
That's going to be good.
Yes.
Anyway, but the other big news, the big news of the East, it's not a big boy, but it's a K4, a Pennsy K4. Yes, it's a Pennsylvania Railroad thing. Locomotive looks like it's going to be under restoration.
Under restoration.
What's your read on that?
Yep. Bennett Levin, noted railroad preservationist, the owner of the Pennsy E8s that everyone loves so much, announced yesterday that he and Wick Moorman have put together a plan to restore the K4 that was at Horseshoe Curve for years. Then it was on restoration, on again, off again restoration at Steamtown and other locations for years. And now he wants to mount a pretty significant fundraising effort to try to build, not only rebuild the locomotive with a new boiler, but also to have a train set that would tour the state. Be sort of like a miniature Freedom train, but
for Pennsylvania.
For Pennsylvania, and it would all match. It'd all be Pennsy equipment and pretty cool. So good plan, and Bennett, we'll be right behind you on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Full story on Newswire. That was a big story. A couple of things we had up this week on Steam. Reading T1 released a video that we put up this week on the restoration efforts, and I love the famous quote. You've heard this many times. Projects move at the speed of money.
Yes, they do.
So they're still looking for a little bit of help, but they've got a great project going on in Cleveland. Check out the video on Newswire. Southern Pacific, 745 down in New Orleans. They're just postponing. They had announced that they're going to do a revenue freight to raise money, and they wanted people to come and participate in that, but they're postponing that for a little while. So full details on Newswire. Joe Boardman surprises me. Joe Boardman is now a hero of mine. And he wasn't at one time, but the former Amtrak CEO came out this week and wrote what I would consider a scathing email in polite company. A scathing email to Amtrak's current managers, wondering what the heck they're doing when they're talking publicly about discontinuing the Southwest Chief, or at least significantly curtailing it. I mean, read into it what you will. But he's come out and said, you know, we spent years fighting for this infrastructure, fighting for this train, and trying to keep it going because it serves communities. And I'm paraphrasing now. He said, if you don't believe in the value of the communities that you're serving, you really don't believe in the railroad.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, I never would have thought this.
Joe is being very direct with his words, and I read an essay that he wrote in our competitor, Railway Age, last night, you know, talking about how that it doesn't seem like there's any transparency or public input or anything like that, and it's sort of mysterious as to where the board of directors and Richard Anderson are headed with all this. You know, Joe's encouraging some more transparency, and certainly I agree with that too. I think if we all kind of knew what the grand plan was, or hopefully if there is a grand plan, you know, it'd be good to know. But yeah, good on Joe. For getting out there and saying something.
Full story, and then excerpt of his email on Newswire. You can read it this week. Brightline looks like, I think that was going to happen today. Brightline has scheduled a media tour or media train into downtown Miami.
First time?
First time.
Wow.
Which is exciting. I mean, passenger train service into Miami on the Florida East Coast. Okay, it's not Florida East Coast, but it's Brightline. But still, that's a really big deal. It's a really important deal.
And it's a nice train set.
You've been on it. I haven't
been on it. Yep, I did a video tour. We have a video tour on the website. Go see one of the trains. We go through the locomotive and the cars and everything. But it is pretty nice.
And a really big point, because after Brightline opened up West Palm Beach to Fort Lauderdale service, they said, well, the next step is Miami. And that will happen for a couple of years once they get it up and running. We'll have a full story once they finally schedule Miami service. And then I can't wait. I can't wait till they take it up to Orlando.
Right. Oh, that'd be cool.
Then there'd be a reason for me to go to Orlando.
That'd be cool.
So anyway, we got a lot of stuff on Newswire this week. We've got these stories and more. It's not just steam. There's a lot out there. We have stories from Metra, from Union Pacific, from CSX Transportation. Go check those out, and more coming for everyone at Trains Magazine. Have a great weekend.
Take care. All right, kick us off, Mr. Steve.